Vader here. I know it's Saturday night, and I know Trepacer usually does his Saturday reviews, but I want to show off my talent a little bit for a certain director, because I recently heard that the script for Star Wars Episode 7 has been completed. Okay, so I just want to make sure that Vader's still in the mix. This is for you, JJ. Quick impression of the Joker in The Dark Knight. First, I'll do the bank manager. Used to be criminals used to believe in things. What do you believe in? I believe what doesn't kill you makes you stranger. Yes, yes, yes. I give that a 10. Okay, JJ, just keep that in mind. Vader's available. Okay, you know my agent's number. Make sure you call. Vader out, and go ahead, Trepacer. You can continue with your silly little Saturday reviews. Hi, this is Trepacer, and welcome to Trepacer Saturday Reviews. I'm continuing my tradition, of course, of reviewing 2 movies. And the 2 movies that I'll be reviewing for you today are The Spectacular Now, starring Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley, who was in The Descendants. And, of course, The Way, Way Back. Okay? First, we'll do The Spectacular Now. Now, this movie, I have to give credit to Film Fan Pete, because he did one of his upcoming movie titles, videos that he does, I think, every Saturday night. And he talked about this movie and how good it was. So I went out and bought it. And I have to say, give a thumbs up for Film Fan Pete. This was a really good movie. Spectacular Now, of course, revolves around this character by Miles Teller. He plays Sutter Keeley. He's like sort of the life of the party. He's a high school senior. He has a girlfriend. He has a job in a clothing store, part-time job in a clothing store. And he seems to be the life of the party, everybody's friend. But he's also an alcoholic. He's always, constantly taking a sip here and there. And he has a girlfriend that he has in the beginning of the movie. Beautiful young lady. But he actually she breaks up with him because she figures out that he's not serious about the future, because he lives in the now, and that's the Spectacular Now kind of refers to. He lives in the now. He doesn't think about going to college and what he's going to do with his later in his life, and that's part of the reason that she breaks up with him, because she sees no future with him. That at first it was cute, when she was first initially going out with him, they hung out and they got drunk together and partied and hung out together, but she sees that they graduate now, that he really isn't making any plans for the future. Even though in the beginning of the movie you see him sitting on his computer trying to fill out an application and about what's the most I forgot what it was about an interesting thing that happened in his life or something, and what thing changed you in your life, and he doesn't really know what to say. Okay, so anyway, she breaks up with him because of that, and of course he goes out and does what he does, which is usually to get drunk, even more drunker, and basically where he meets Shailene Woodley's character. Okay, he after a night of drinking and waking up hungover on her lawn. Her name is Amy Finnegan. That's her. She's different than the normal. She's a nice girl. She's into science fiction. She doesn't have a boyfriend. She helps her mother. She gets up early to help her mother. It basically does her mother's paper route, delivering papers and stuff. And she's she has dreams of the future, and she has a good head on her shoulder. And of course, Sutter, because he woke up hungover on the lawn, decides to help her, and he starts hanging out with her, and starts doing things with her, going with her, and she's real easygoing and to talk to, and she's not like his ex-girlfriend, but he's still sort of hung up on his ex-girlfriend, because he still kind of video chats with her, every once in a while. But they slowly sort of form this relationship, and she's easygoing, but he also has problems at home as well. Sutter, his mother's divorced from his father, and he hasn't seen his father for years, and he sort of resents his mother. He resents his mother because she won't even give him his phone number or tell him where he is. Okay, and and that's part of the reason he kind of resents his mother because of that. And this movie is probably one of the most honest movie about teenagers that I've seen in a long while. Sort of like reminds me of The Perks of a Wallflower, in that the way that this is written and is really realistic to the way the kids really act. Like I said, this setter Miles Teller, who gives a great performance, he acts like a normal teenager, but like I say, he has that baggage that he kind of keeps hidden. Like I said, which he kind of drinks his way through. Like I said, he's barely getting through in school, and like I say, he's hanging out with Amy, and she's helping him, and you can tell Amy and they sort of form this relationship, even though you can sort of see that she's totally falling for him, and he does like her, but he still really, you can tell that he really kind of still misses his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend he got dumped by. And like I said, it's basically, this movie is basically about him, basically, I guess, coming to terms with, instead of living for the now, thinking about the future. Basically, it is about the future, because he's, like I said, because there's moments, like I said, he has this resentment to his mother, for her not letting him, find out about his father, and he really thinks, he really sort of blames it on his mother. And I don't want to spoil it, because there is a resolution to that issue, okay, which I thought was really, and which leads to another point in the movie. And like I said, you get great performances from Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. This movie was excellently written and directed, and just a joy to one of the best movies I've seen in a while. This is from the writers of 500 Days of Summer, but this movie is sweet and has a sweet charm to it. And like I said, Shailene Woodley was excellent in this movie, and she has a bright future as an actress. I know she's going to be in that movie Divergent that comes out in March, but she is really good in this, and Miles Teller is good as well. Okay, and I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. That's how much I enjoyed it. Exactly, like I said, it's basically about this guy Sutter who's basically a budding alcoholic. Okay, because he drinks and he's like the life of the party, but he drinks to cover up things. To cover up and the fact that he does miss his father, and resents his mother for not allowing his father to be in his life, and also because he doesn't really think about the future. He just thinks about the here and now, and it's a really good movie. I definitely recommend it. 8 out of 10. Okay. Now this next movie, I have to give credit to Ali Walker, a fellow YouTuber named Ali Walker, who I saw her recommend this movie. And she said it was really, really good, and it was. This movie is about about a shy 14-year-old named Duncan, which is this guy here, who goes on a summer vacation with his mother and her overbearing boyfriend, a boyfriend who's a bit obnoxious. And then even the movie opens with them driving up to his summer home, where he basically annoys Duncan to tell him what would he rate himself. And Duncan doesn't want to have this conversation. He doesn't even want to be there. He wants to spend time with his father, who's they're divorced from his mother. He actually wanted to spend time with his father in California, but he got dragged along on this big summer vacation that he really didn't want to go on. And basically, he said he thinks he's a 6, but this asshole played by Steve Carell basically calls him a 3 because he doesn't see him putting himself out there. Okay, which is partially true. Duncan's a shy 14-year-old. Okay, which is and he kind of hates the fact that he's getting dragged along with his mother to spend time with her and the overbearing boyfriend. Anyway, this movie stars Steve Carell, Toni Collette. Well, Steve Carell plays the overbearing boyfriend, and Toni Collette plays the mother. And then you have Allison Janney as one of the neighbors. You have Anna Sophia Robb as the daughter of Allison Janney's character, and they're divorced. Her parents are divorced, and she lives of course with her mother in the summer home. And then you have Sam Rockwell, and then you got Maya Rudolph, and then you have this young kid here who is what's his name, Liam James. He's Duncan. Anyway, he's stuck up there, with his mother and her overbearing boyfriend and his daughter at this summer home thing, and he's basically bored to tears and doesn't really want to be there. And of course, he gets dragged to everything that he doesn't want to go to. So he basically you know, and then he also kind of bonds a little bit with the neighborhood girl, Anne Sophia Robb, who's kind of sarcastic, and you know they have their little moments. But he also, what he does is he finds a bike in the garage, and he basically bikes to get out, you know, to get away from his mom and overbearing boyfriend, and bikes into town to a water park called, I think it's called the Water Whiz, and that's where he meets Sam Rockwell's character, what's his name in the movie? Sam Rockwell's character, his name in the movie is Owen, and basically Sam Rockwell makes this movie. He's sarcastic, funny, and he kind of takes Duncan under his wing and gets him a job at the water park, and he basically opens up his and makes his summer because he gets him a job at the park, and he pals around with him, and Mayor Rudolph plays Caitlin, one of the bosses at the park, who's constantly exasperated by Owen because he's always making fun, making jokes and laughing around, but he has a good time, and he really kind of bonds with, you know, Duncan, you know, played by Liam James, and makes it for a fun movie. Okay, and also you get good performances like that. Steve Carell plays a real good jerk. Okay, and Toni Collette kind of has this, you know, the kind of the put upon role as the mother who, you know, who has a new boyfriend, and she's trying to bond with her son, and also that she's having trouble with her relationship with Trent as well. Okay, and then you have Anne Sophia Robb, who plays Susanna, who's the neighborhood daughter of Allison Janney's character, and she kind of bonds with Duncan. You know, she follows him one day to see that he's working at the park, and she hangs out with him, and they sort of bond. And it's a really sweet movie about a guy, you know, shy young guy who gets to meet this one guy, you know, Owen, played by Sam Rockwell, and he opens up his summer and makes the horrible time that he's having more pleasant, and he actually loves going to this water park and palling around with the people in the water park, and it's a really sweet movie, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, Sam Rockwell made this movie. He was absolutely hilarious as Owen. Okay, he really made this movie, and I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, it was really enjoyable. Like I said, I like Steve Carell. He played a good jerk, but Sam Rockwell stole this movie. He was absolutely hilarious and totally funny and totally worth it. Okay, I don't want to spoil how it ends because there is some conflict, and it gets resolved. Okay, but that's all I want to say. I don't want to spoil exactly what happens, but definitely worth picking up. 7.5. Okay, but I definitely, and I recommend that. I highly recommend The Spectacular Now. Absolutely one of the most realistic, you know, movies about young teenagers that's out there today. Spectacular Now. Great performances by Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. Absolutely, I love this movie. This movie I really enjoyed watching this movie. The kind of movie that you hate to end, but it was really good and very well done. Great drama, just great performances by the cast. Okay, so if you've seen those movies, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.